What's this? A post-apocalyptic model? I know it's been a while, but I kind of hit a creative block when it comes to post-apocalyptic stuff. Until recently. I kind of been trying to get back into the groove of things. And thank you, Spencer1984. Go check out his channel and his website. He's really cool. Really cool guy. And he does some really cool stuff. He's actually building the Wagon Queen, I think it's called, Family Truckster or something like that, from, I forget what the movie's called. Shit, okay, I'm sorry. But he's building that. It's really, really cool. So what is this? This is a reference to the Highwayman from Fallout 2. It's a car known as the Freeway Runner in my world, but kind of like Highwayman and Road Runner, Freeway Runner. It's actually this kit. The Street Fury, the Slamfast. People say that you can't use snap together models for real projects. Well, I disagree. Because this was a hell of a project. Mostly using parts bucket things. The grill, roof, interior, all of it out of parts bucket. Same with the back bumper, side pipes, and even the chassis, which I don't want to flip it over because all the stuff in the trunk's going to fall out. The interior were from I should start with the chassis. The chassis is actually a Greenlight Christine Plymouth Fury that I got, I think, as a gift for my birthday or Christmas. I've had it for a while, so I don't really remember. And I was kind of unhappy with it. The proportions of it were kind of weird, and it was weirdly tiny for what a Plymouth Fury should be. And the wheels didn't look right to me. But they look excellent on this car because it gives the car a different vibe. And the chassis I could not use with an interior because the Snapfast Slammers are not designed for that. So that came out of I think a Chrysler. I think it's an Imperial. I could be wrong, but that's where that interior tub came out of. It's very shallow, so it fits in there pretty well. It was like an old promo kit that they reissued recently. Blower hat is another from my parts bucket. 57 Chevy from bumper and roof. Kind of give it a different vibe because the Highwayman in Fallout 2 is a weird hybrid of many 50s cars, but the big two seem to be 57 Chevy and Plymouth Fury. It's not a Chrysler Imperial, as that one person who talked about Fallout cars said. It's not a Chrysler Imperial because the concept art showed it looking like a Cadillac Coupe de Ville, but the actual sprite in-game is kind of a hybrid of cars. And this one, the Snapfast Slammer, has the exaggerated fins, which fits the world of Fallout. And, yeah. Not really too much detail on the interior because it's kind of a shallow piece, but it is in there. I did side windows because you normally don't see that on model kits. Also, the doors are very different to how a Plymouth Fury would be. Again, kind of hiding what it is supposed to be. Is kind of the idea. The glass is all custom. It's just clear plastic that was cut and shaped into the windows. First time doing that, and it's a little rough, but certainly works. Get the car in frame, for God's sake. So yeah, this was a fun little build. I definitely liked it. It was a fun little thing to do. Yeah, that's pretty much it. The trunk isn't really done yet, though. I'm not happy with all the crap that's in there. I want to put more stuff in there that's more appropriate, but that's the rear end. Doesn't look the best, but it's fine. So yeah, let's get on to the next thing, which is the Power Wagon. This is my FCX24, and I did say F, not SCX24. This is a heavy son of a bitch, and this is a mean son of a bitch right here. FMS is mostly known for their scale stuff. You know that I have their Toyotas, their Suzuki Jimny I have. They're great. They make really good scale stuff, and I'm actually going to be honest here. Don't hate me for this. They're my favorite RC brand. I think it's FMS and Axial. Yes, I prefer them over Traxxas. I said it. It's all personal preference, I guess. And with this build, I wanted to do the idea that it's an old tow truck that got put on a new frame. The cab is a different color from the bed because they took that from another truck, maybe. It's actually more likely that my color just didn't match. There's the tow hook. Came off of a Transformers toy. The bed is all 3D printed, by the way. One of my friends did that. Same with the tow parts here. All 3D printed. Tires are from Endura. Wheels are from Endura. The links, also from Endura. Those are all brass. And up front, I have a Trial portal cover on the front. So this thing weighs a lot. It's a very heavy truck. It's a big 1/24th scale, but it is a 1/24th scale. It's a big boy, for sure. I'm waiting for the K5 Blazer, which, yes, I did pre-order, and I will be building up similar to this. The only thing that I could say that I really am having a problem with is the steering, because it now has to move all that. The steering servo is actually really strong, and I just need the brass parts, but they've been out of stock, so I think they might be getting back in stock soon, hopefully, and when they do, I will order them and see if I can get someone to install those for me, because I'm very scared. I've never taken those apart before. Now, what's the difference, let's say, if you want to buy a crawler, what's the difference between the SCX24, which is this guy, and the FCX24? Well, for starters, the SCX24 isn't great performance-wise out of the box. And that's kind of the same for both of these. These both aren't crazy crawlers out of the box. They're not hardcore rock crawlers. But you get great upgradability, and I have been upgrading this guy, and I do want to talk about it. And you do get good performance out of both of these. It's weird that Horizon Hobby does not carry the FCX24. They carry the Atlas, the Jimny, the Chevy, pretty much everything from Rock Hobby and FMS. They carry it, but they do not carry this. I don't know why. Maybe they think it's a competitor. I don't think that the FCX24 and the SCX24 are competitors. I see them more as companions. If you're going to buy one, buy the other one. You're going to have fun with both of them. They're both fun to upgrade. So, yeah, let's talk about the pros and cons of these if you want to get one. The pros of the FCX24: super strong servo, super duper beefy motor from the factory. It's a 2-speed, so you don't even have to crawl with this if you don't want to. Put it in second gear. This thing's fun. It flies. It's a fast little truck. This thing hauls ass. I know that there's people out there that make these into monster trucks, and FMS even came out with a monster truck version of this. Same chassis, everything, just open diffs. That's the only thing that it's called the Smasher, by the way. It looks like a Ford. Same exact platform, just with open diffs. And I know that there's people out there that buy these just for fun. They don't even crawl or do anything competitive with them because they're just fun. They're beefy and they're durable as hell. That's the good part about the FCX24. Super duper beefy motor and servo. You don't have to worry about replacing those, at least not yet. You can kind of crawl them for a while. And yes, I will be taking this to the course, by the way. As opposed, the only real cons I could say to the FCX24, it's big, and it is still relatively new. The upgradability is not really there yet. Trial is making stuff for it, and Endura is making stuff for it. It's still not there with the SCX24. It's getting there, and I'm actually very happy that the RC community has accepted these and really liked them, and more stuff is coming out for it, but it's just not there yet. That's the only real downside I could say to this. Other than that, great little truck. I highly recommend buying one. I was so fortunate when I opened up mine. I'm sorry, hang on, let me get water. Like I was saying, when I got mine, if you get yours and it's in a cardboard box, good. That's the one that has the metal gears. And I was so happy that I got that one. If you get one and it's just the styrofoam box with the sleeve around it, that's the old version with the plastic gears. Not that that's a bad thing. You can get upgrades for it. They do make that. But I was so happy that I didn't need to get the upgrades because they're already in there. So that's a good thing. Even when I pulled the diff cover off when I was installing the trails, they are metal. I did put extra grease in there because it didn't look like they were super greased up. But it is greased, and it's all good. So that's the pros and cons of the FCX. Now the SCX, this guy, this is a little project that I've been just toying with, really. Not spending a whole lot of money on it. Buying cheap upgrades or stuff that I already had. And just kind of seeing how capable I can make it. This was originally going to be a body swap with that Ford that I have from the FMS Smasher, because you can buy that body separately, but the wheelbase is too long. So, yeah, that didn't happen. So I wound up just keeping the Gladiator body on. And I'm glad that I did, because I actually really like it. I've grown to really appreciate it. New wheels and tires. Look at how nice these are. Were these not, like, made for this thing? This thing looks nuts. Dude at the hobby shop is so nice. He vented them for me. So, Enduro wheels, Enduro, you know how it is. Axial diff cover, Power Hobby shocks. Same ones I have on the C10, just red, which I think was a good choice because they stand out. The cons of this thing. Servo's not great. Those frequently break and don't have the power, especially when you start adding weight to the wheels. They can't really push the tires. I know on my Chevy C10, it struggles. The motors frequently burn out, which is this little motor right here, this little 88T motor. They're okay for the most part, but once you start adding weight, this will burn out, and this will die very quickly, especially once you start getting competitive with it. So for this guy, I'm actually proud of myself for this. I did throw an Enduro motor in there. This is a lot better than the stock unit. It's noticeably louder, but a hell of a lot better than when it comes in the factory. And that was a big learning experience, taking apart an SCX24 for the motor. Never did that before, so that was something pretty crazy. So, yeah, this has just been a little small project. Not really worrying about it being perfect. I think what I'm going to end up doing with this thing is, if I take any friends to the crawler course, this is the truck that they use. Because, obviously, my friends don't own any mini crawlers. So, this is the one that I'll give them. I'm not too worried about the body getting dinged up. I'm a little bit worried about the snorkel because I glued that on, but I think it's on there pretty solid. I sanded it. Used that Gorilla glue, the Gorilla Precise glue on it, and it seems to stick pretty well. Let me see how this is. I put the shocks that way instead of straight forward. So we'll see how that performs. Maybe it gives it more flex in the rear. If I don't like it, then I'll put them back. But yeah, that's the cons of the SCX24. Not great servo, not great motor, not great performance out of the box. They're capable, but they're not that capable. They definitely need upgrades, but the upgradability of this thing is through the roof. You can do literally whatever you want with an SCX24. If you can think it, they make it. That's pretty much what it is. I've seen a lot of people, they take this Overland thing off of theirs. I'm keeping mine. Because every other build that I've seen, they're gone. And I think it just ruins the look of this thing. It's trying to go for this cool Overland, almost like camping look to this truck. It looks awesome. And that's hollow plastic. It's not solid. So, whatever. I'm keeping it. It looks cool. I don't care if it adds a freaking tiny little bit of weight up top. Doesn't matter when all the weight's going to be shifted down low. And, yeah. So, those are the things that I wanted to show off this week. Sorry for the lack of updates on model stuff and that kind of stuff. But, yeah. I'll see you guys next time.